Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're raising a kid with ADHD or autism, you probably already know that the standard run-of-the-mill parenting advice, it often just doesn't cut it. So today, I'm thrilled to step in as your supportive friend and walk you through this highly effective, highly practical parenting toolkit. We're going to dive into some real actionable strategies that you can literally start using today. But first, let's just take a massive collective deep breath together. Are you feeling completely overwhelmed by daily routines? Because, wow, getting out the door, sitting down for homework, just transitioning to bedtime, these everyday moments can honestly feel like you're climbing Mount Everest. I just want to acknowledge that the beautiful but totally exhausting reality of raising a neurodivergent child is hard. Your feelings of overwhelm are completely valid. You're doing an amazing job, and the whole point of this explainer is to give you some tools to make those heavy daily routines feel just a little bit lighter. I want you to think of it this way. I love this quote. Your child's brain is like a race car engine. It goes really fast. Sometimes we just need to practice using the brakes. See, your child's brain isn't broken, it's not malfunctioning, it's just wired differently. It's literally a high-performance sports car, and it just needs the right support systems to help it navigate the tracks safely. So, here's our roadmap for today. We're covering the practical parenting toolkit itself, parallel parenting and body doubling, designing a calm down corner, using token economies and resets, and finally, reframing the narrative. Let's jump right in and help reduce that cognitive load. All right, part 1, the practical parenting toolkit. This entire toolkit we're looking at, it's basically built on two incredibly sturdy pillars, parallel parenting and early intervention. Everything we're going to talk about today, from sensory scaffolding to gamified discipline, comes straight from this framework. It's really all about making that huge shift from a dynamic of trying to control to a dynamic of structured support. Moving into part 2, parallel parenting, specifically body doubling. So, what does body doubling actually mean? It sounds fancy, but it's really just a productivity strategy where someone works on a task simply by having another person in the room with them. It's actually a super popular strategy for adults with ADHD, but let me tell you, it works absolute wonders for kids too. It provides this really grounding, calming presence for a brain that just struggles to get started on tasks. And the real magic here? You aren't doing the homework for them. No way. You're just sharing the executive functioning load by providing some physical or even virtual accountability. Putting this into practice is surprisingly simple. First off, identify the task. Say it's math homework or maybe cleaning up their room. Second, just be present. You can be sitting right there, paying bills, scrolling on your laptop, or folding laundry. Third, minimize the distractions in the room. Fourth, offer really gentle prompts if they drift off. But remember, we are supporting here, not nagging. Start small, maybe just 15 or 20 minutes. And finally, make it a consistent routine. To make sure you're setting up a truly supportive environment, it helps to run through a super quick checklist. Like, have you agreed on how long the session will be? Are you giving them some positive reinforcement when that timer finally goes off? Are those distractions actually minimized? Checking these boxes really just makes sure you're acting as an anchor for their focus, rather than accidentally becoming a taskmaster that just causes friction. Okay, part 3, the calm down corner. This is all about sensory scaffolding. We crucially need to redefine what this space is right off the bat. A calm down corner is a designated, safe, quiet space with tools to help kids self-soothe. Let me be super clear. It is absolutely not a traditional timeout corner for bad behavior. It's a sensory sanctuary. See, when a neurodivergent child hits sensory overload or goes into an emotional meltdown, their nervous system is basically on fire. This space, this is the water to put out that fire. Let's walk through how you set it up. First, pick a quiet location. Honestly, it doesn't even have to literally be a corner. Second, make sure the seating is super comfortable. Third, carefully pick out some calming tools. Fourth, set clear rules, like, only one person in the corner at a time. But please, listen closely to step 5, because this is absolutely crucial. You have to teach and practice using this space during calm times. Do not wait until your kid is mid-meltdown to be like, hey, let's try the corner. They need to practice when their brain is regulated so that the muscle memory is already there when they actually get upset. When you're stocking up this sensory sanctuary, cozy seating like a beanbag is a total game changer. Add some fidget toys, noise-canceling headphones for when things are just too loud, and maybe a weighted blanket for that deep pressure input. Visual aids like a breathing chart are fantastic too. But quick warning from the sources here, do not overcrowd the space. You want to keep it visually and physically soothing so it doesn't accidentally trigger even more sensory overwhelm. All right, moving to part 4, token economies and connection resets. These are your quick win strategies. First up is the token economy. This is a system of positive reinforcement where kids earn tangible, physical tokens that they can exchange for rewards. Now, why is this such a big deal for kids with ADHD? Because it combats timeliness. A lot of neurodivergent kids really struggle to connect something they're doing right now to a reward that happens, at the end of the week. But by handing them an immediate physical token, like a marble, a bottle cap, whatever, you bridge that gap with a quick hit of dopamine, and that is what builds the habit. In daily practice, you want to keep this system highly specific. Take a look at this. For example, clearing a plate after dinner, that earns 1 token. Putting away their school bag, that's another token. Then they can save up 5 of those tokens for, say, 15 minutes of extra screen time. The absolute key here is to award the token immediately. This kind of explicit structure completely removes the gray areas and makes your expectations crystal clear. Now, what happens when things still get overwhelming despite all your best efforts? Enter the 5-minute connection reset. This is just an intentional pause to calm the nervous system and reestablish your bond. When you feel that frustration peaking, you literally call a 5-minute timeout from whatever routine you're doing. Put away the screens, give them your full, undivided attention, and jump into a quick activity to basically reset their brain chemistry. And you've actually got 2 distinct paths for this reset, depending on what their nervous system needs right in that exact moment. You kind of get to be the detective here. Are they practically vibrating with pent-up tension? Go for high-intensity play. Do a 5-minute dance party, jumping jacks, or give them a really tight bear hug. Or are they looking overstimulated and fragile? If so, go for a sensory or calming break. Do some deep breathing together, like smell the flower, blow out the candle, put on some nature sounds, or wrap them up in a weighted blanket. Finally, part 5, reframing the narrative to build self-esteem. Okay, here is perhaps the most important takeaway of the entire explainer. Your child's brain is wired differently, not wrongly. Moving away from that deficit-based language, words like broken or disorder, and fully embracing neurodiversity affirming language, it fundamentally builds your child's self-esteem. It drastically, and I mean drastically, reduces the shame they might be feeling about their daily struggles. So how do we actually build this positive narrative every single day? You start by focusing on their unique strengths. Praise their incredible out-of-the-box thinking, their wild creativity, or their superpower hyperfocus. Explain the why behind their struggles neutrally, like, hey, loud spaces are hard for you because your brain processes sound so fast. Read books featuring neurodivergent characters so they see themselves represented. And above all else, teach them self-advocacy so they can confidently grow up saying, hey, I need a quiet space to focus right now. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. But I want to leave you with this final, hopefully provocative thought. What is one single tool you can try today to connect with your child? Remember, this whole thing is a journey of connection, not perfection. You do not have to implement this entire toolkit tomorrow. Maybe today you just sit nearby and fold laundry while they do math. Or maybe you just start looking for a quiet corner to put a beanbag chair in. Pick just one strategy, test it out, and watch how it shifts the dynamic in your home. Thanks so much for learning with me today. You've totally got this.